We are live.
Is that what it says?
Well, that's what it says. I mean, I put us going live. Yeah, we're live. I think we're live. Yeah, it says we're live. So let's tweet this all out.
Toot
Tweet it out. Boop, 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 boop. Share to everyone.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
Whoever's been tuning in. Thanks for
everyone who's been tuning
spending your evening with us instead of the ESPY Awards.
You know,
it's very nice of you.
ESPY Awards. It's sports.
It's sports.
It's sports. It's gonna make you cry. We won't. Hopefully.
No. Well, I don't think just the visuals will make us cry.
I mean, we could try. Maybe if you pay us, we'll make you guys cry. Just talk about like Coco for an hour.
Oh God, that would do it. Or just put a camera in front of us while we watch Coco.
While we watch, just
yeah.
like, but it's the family, but the mom, but the dad, but and she remembers.
Okay.
All right. I'm kind of tearing up from that.
Are we ready?
What is going on here?
Are we ready?
I am tearing up from that.
That's sad.
Hey, I have feelings. I'm a man.
Okay. Can't argue with that. All right.
Yes, curling team.
We good?
Oh yeah, we're good. Go ahead. Let's start us off with some audacity
hit
the record.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's edition of the Media Boat Podcast.
We are live.
We are live. It's 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. That means it's time for the show. The Media Boat Podcast is your source for news about movies, television, video games, and music. Not necessarily in that order. Today is July 18th, 2018.
Ooh, get some feedback there.
It is episode 132. We had some feedback there because you were playing some audio. But yeah, we're here. We're here to do another episode of the show for you guys live this week after taking a break. Or did we do live last week? No, we didn't do live last week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
It was the week before.
My brain is dead. This has been a long month.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get rolling.
Why don't I not see comments?
Right into it. My name is Matt. His name is Mike.
I'm Mike. He's Matt over there.
I mean,
and if you're watching this live,
they might be mad as well.
Yeah, you might be a Matt as well. But if you're watching us live, you can tune in and you can chat with us and we'll chat back.
It's true.
But let's start chatting along here for everyone on the podcast.
Let's get rolling. We always start with movies, and we always start movies with this weekend's box office numbers. Number one movie is a surprise this week that we did not see coming.
I did. I called this.
You called this. I did not see this.
I said this right as we were ending it. Like, yeah, you know what? I think animated family film. Yeah.
Over Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Over Dwayne Johnson.
Does this mean that The Rock is losing his magic box office powers?
Well, let's see. This will be his third film of the year already.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Well, regardless, in case you haven't figured it out yet, your number one movie this week was Hotel Transylvania 3, with a $44 million debut, shooting it above its competitors, including number 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp, in its second weekend with $29 million. Yep. But more importantly, Skyscraper, the Dwayne Johnson vehicle,
yes,
debuted
aforementioned,
with just $25 million.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking this one up because it had the big script. We've been following it quite a bit, but that's not a good opening.
Yeah, no, especially for something with The Rock, who has a rep of being like a box office hero.
Right, but do realize that his past films has always been Rock and someone else.
Yeah, you're not wrong. That's true.
This is just The Rock in a starring vehicle for himself. So that could have something to do with it. I don't want to blame it specifically on that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's the only thing that's different from his previous box office stuff.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe he doesn't work as a lead necessarily. He works best when he can work off of people.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute here.
Okay, I guess we will. All right, your number 4 was Incredibles 2 with another $16 million added to its total.
Hi, dudes.
And wrapping up your top 5 with number 5, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom with another $16 million as well.
Do we put Incredibles in there?
Incredibles 2.
Number 4. Yeah.
That's what I said.
All right. Yep.
So that was your last weekend. Upcoming this week, we have Equalizer 2.
The first Denzel sequel.
Yes. Sequel to The Equalizer.
No way.
Yeah, I know. Weird.
Or would Deja Vu be a sequel?
No.
But I feel like I've seen that movie before.
Deja Vu. Deja Vu is a sequel to itself. As well as a couple of counter-programming here.
Yes.
Mamma Mia 2. Here we go again.
Yes. The sequel to Mamma Mia.
Long-awaited.
Yes, because you can never have enough ABBA songs in a movie.
No.
Apparently you can't. They had to make
they had to make 2, so no, you can't.
Yes.
And lastly, Unfriended, The Dark Web, which is the sequel to Unfriended.
Is it a sequel?
Yes. Remember Unfriended?
No.
I remember Unfriended, because Unfriended, when it first came out, I was talking to friends and we were like, no, that's not what you call it. Like...
We just call it ghosting now, right?
No, I remember back then it was like I had a weird problem with that title because I was like, oh, me or my friends we have a different name for
unfriending someone?
Yeah, but it wasn't that. I forget what it was now. But yeah, I remember making fun of it at the time.
Was it like unfollowing?
Maybe. But yeah, anyways, Unfriended: The Dark Web is also out this week. Those are your new releases. So, number 1 next week, what do you think?
I don't know. What was number 1 this week?
Hotel Transylvania.
No, I mean number.
Oh, 44 million.
So 20 million in a pretty much dead summer. I mean, a dead week of summer. I don't know. This is a toss-up for everything.
I have no idea. That's why I asked you.
Nobody
looks happy at these ESPYs.
No.
Sorry, we're watching the ESPYs in the background, and every time they show the audience, no one is smiling at...
It's because they're getting ripped on, that's why.
Yeah, I know, but I guess it's because we can't hear the laughs.
Yeah, we'll get to the ESPYs later.
It just looks like, the look of it looks like Dan Patrick's bombing right now. But anyways, I had to get that out. But yeah, those are your movies this weekend. I mean, I don't know, maybe Mamma Mia.
I was saying,
surprise.
Could surprise pull it out.
I haven't seen anything about Equalizer.
No, neither have I. So I recently saw a trailer for The Equalizer.
Okay.
This past weekend, not realizing that it was coming out the following week.
Right? I had no idea it was even a thing until just now.
Well, let's just call it rollover then. Family film.
It's possible. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
I'm calling rollover, family film. Hotel Transylvania.
You know what? I'll take a risk on Mamma Mia.
Okay.
I think that it's been long enough. I'll say Mamma Mia takes it.
All right.
But not a big.
I'll see you in second place.
All right. So, speaking of Hotel Transylvania 3, you saw some movies, including
I saw
Hotel
3
Transylvania.
movies.
You saw not 1, not 2, not 3, but, I mean, yes, 3.
Yes, I saw 3.
3 movies. All right, which one do you want to talk about first?
All right, let's go in order.
All right.
So, let's start at the top of the box office with Hotel
Transylvania
3
Trace.
Summer Vacation.
All right, so have you seen the first 2?
I saw the first film.
Okay, you saw the first film.
Yes. I did not see the second film.
But you at least have some sort of context for the world.
But I have some sort of context for the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think having skipped the second one and only watching the previews for it and having general premise of, oh, they have a kid now. So that's new. And also Mel Brooks is in it. That's my general gist of what the second one is.
Got it. Okay.
So, knowing that, going into the third one, not a huge surprise that it's an animated film that basically gives you everything up front.
Yeah.
You really don't need to see the first or second one to understand
Sets it up.
that what's going on. It does a little brief background of, hey, this is how they end up creating Hotel Transylvania, or creating the hotel for the monsters, and then that actually wraps into the plot of the third film of Summer Vacation, where they're on a cruise, which is, as the film points out, hotel on water.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. So You still call it that.
Yes, they're really self-aware in this film of what's going on. Also, they're really self-aware that it is an Adam Sandler film. He is front and center. He is the focus. He is the lead.
He's the Dracula guy.
He is Dracula. Oh, he is the main
they actually
monster.
Named Dracula?
Yes, okay. He's actually named Dracula.
All right.
It's a fine film. There's nothing. There are worse animated films out there.
I bet.
For it, and I'm not saying this because it's an Adam Sandler film. I'm just saying this because it's an animated film.
Yeah.
Granted that Incredibles is a better film. It is a more high concept film, but in terms of getting your family value out of it, this will suffice. This will get kids happy. Get them laughing. There's jokes in there for some parents.
You want to keep your kids happy.
Yes, you want to keep them happy. This is a fine film. It meets the requirements of a family film in the barest of senses, but not so much that you're like scraping to enjoy it yourself.
Okay.
I found myself actually laughing at parts. I liked the ending of what they did. It wraps the whole thing up in a nice callback to the first film as well, which I thought was neat, and I thought they wouldn't do because Sony animated cash grab film, the third.
Yeah,
but it's a fine film.
Okay,
you can't really bag on this because it does exactly what you think it's gonna do.
It
doesn't stray away from it, and it knows itself so well at this point that it's gonna cater to a specific kind of audience, and you know what you're gonna get going into the film.
Yeah, it's exactly what you think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so, given the Phantom Media boat scale, it's a rental. It's a stream.
Stream it.
It's a stream. If you have kids, put it on for them, and they'll be happy. Take your kids to see it. If you don't have kids, you're not missing anything.
Fair enough.
Catch it when you do have kids.
So, I guess then the question is, would you rather see Skyscraper?
Now I have to talk about Skyscraper.
Now you gotta talk about Skyscraper. So, Skyscraper, the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson Chinese financed big blockbuster that debuts $25 million. What's going on here? Why did it bomb?
Believe it or not, I want to say it's the Chinese influence.
Really?
Yeah. Mainly because American audiences aren't into Chinese culture or Chinese architecture or anything Chinese actor related, which isn't a problem, but also is a problem because you got to go over the hurdles of not only cultural differences, but having established actors within the same vein going head to head against Dwayne Johnson, who takes up like literally half the screen most of the time. It does show off some cool, innovative technologies, which I assume is green screened. But at the same time, is also like, hey, that could be a cool concept someday. And yeah, sure, China could be the ones to make that happen.
Sure.
Yet at the same time,
buying into the
Chinese market, which I think is what they what they want.
Word I'm looking for.
Appropriation?
No, not this time.
Cultural
propaganda.
Bias, cultural propaganda.
It's like, look at the things you can do if you invest in your country.
Right. Yeah, but at the heart of all this, it's a Die Hard film.
Okay.
We knew this going in.
It looks like Die Hard in a Skyscraper.
It looks like Die Hard in a Skyscraper. It's Die Hard in a Skyscraper.
Okay.
Except that it's mainly Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson trying to get his kids back, rather than trying to save his wife or overthrow the terrorists.
Right.
Because honestly, I think he could give pardon my French here, two shits less about what they're trying to accomplish.
We have an explicit tag. You don't need to apologize.
Oh yeah. So I don't think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's character can give two shits about what the terrorists are actually after.
Yeah.
He's just there to save his kids, which they take the kids as hostage. Which, I mean, if you're a villain and you want to get The Rock out of there, like, okay, what do you want? You just want your kids? Okay, here's your kids. I don't need to bother you now.
Right. The problem with the protagonist that doesn't give a larger care about the context is that you give him what he wants and then he'll just leave.
Yeah, which is what I was waiting for half the time. Was like, just make sure he's just making sure his family's safe.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the villains try and keep him as leverage, keep one of the kids as leverage.
Right.
It's like, but if you don't have that leverage, then you don't have the problem. And you see where I'm going here, Phil?
AKA, you outsmarted the villain in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And there's some cool action sequences, again, but it's all CGI, so it's not that impressive as much.
That being said, judging by the way you're explaining this, it doesn't sound too dissimilar from Hotel Transylvania when it's like, no, this does exactly what you think it is.
Oh, yeah, it does exactly what you think it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's exactly what you think it is. It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson in a hotel, climbing up each floor
Dwayne The Jock Ronson.
Yes, climbing up each floor to save his family.
Yeah.
It does a nice thing with the callbacks and some like full circle stuff, which is nice in terms of a screenwriting sense. Like, it's definitely a good screenwriter's starting place,
right?
But it doesn't escalate from a starting block. I feel it's like they paid, like I've said before, it's like they paid $2 million for the script, and they didn't want to touch it, which is unfortunate, because apart from one scene or two scenes in the film, there's no reason for him to have an amputated leg. It's not a big selling point. It's covered up most of the time, and for most part, I forgot that was a thing until they brought it up.
Yeah, because it's not going to be the thing you're looking at. It's not like there's full body shots of him the entire movie.
Right. Plus, he's wearing pants the whole time, so it's covered up anyways.
It'd be more obvious if it was his arm.
Right.
Yeah.
Or some other type of impediment.
Right.
Like, I get, like, you do it to raise the stakes. You also do it. It's also done in the beginning to set up how they met, how how the husband and wife met. But do I really need that?
No.
No. The more I think about it, the more it's like, no, you could have just said they're together, they have kids.
Right.
Start film.
Yeah, you don't need to have some sort of weird setup about how.
I don't need to know that he was a former ex-Marine. I don't know that he's doing this job because...
You might want to mention that, but you can have that in dialogue.
Oh, no, you have that in dialogue. But
you just mention this is why he's badass.
But to have that in a 10-minute opening...
Yeah, you don't need to see it.
None of the stuff in the opening that, like, quote-unquote haunts him really comes back into a forefront again in the film. Which is a missed opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds like it. Because if you're going to do that, it's for a setup.
Right.
Like, something in his combat specifically is going to come up.
Right. It's I made a mistake here. It's haunted me.
I'm not going to make the same mistake again.
Twice.
And they don't do that in this movie?
Yeah.
Oh, they do that.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's subtly set up in this film.
Yeah.
But the technology they set up right after that scene basically overtakes it in the final conflict. So to me, it's not as impactful as it could have been. So with all that ragging on it, it's a fine film. You get what you want out of it. It's The Rock beating up on people, climbing a tower, saving his family. It's exactly what you think going into the film.
It's exactly what I thought it was.
As much as I'm ragging on the film right now, saying everything they could have done better,
it's fine.
It's fine. It's got like a 60%, I think, around Tomatoes.
Yeah.
50,
it sounds like if you want to go this weekend to a movie you have not seen that is also something you can nosh on popcorn to.
Yep.
This sounds like this will fulfill that goal.
Yes, it is definitely a popcorn flick in the middle of summer in the truest of sense.
Yep.
It's not going to try and challenge anything, but it's also not going to be a total disappointment. You're going to be walking about that like, that's a fine film. Okay. I might forget about it. It'll probably rerun like forever on FX when it comes out, but it's a fine film.
Fair enough. So on the patented media vote scale,
it's a fine film.
It sounds like
it's a stream it.
Because it's like, don't rush out and see this unless you, like I said, need to kill some time this weekend.
Right, or if you just want to like have some beer with some buddies, have some bro time, put on testosterone-filled Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, why not?
And watch it. It's fine.
Then to move into a movie that is probably the polar opposite of Skyscraper in almost every way. You also saw Sorry to Bother You.
Oh, I gotta talk about this now.
Yes, you do.
Oh my gosh, where do I begin with this?
So this movie came out at an interesting time.
Yeah.
It's good timing, I think, for this release. So explain to our viewers, because they may, unlike the last two movies, not be familiar with what Sorry to Bother You is.
So, Sorry to Bother You is a 95% Rotten Tomatoes certified fresh A+ film. Everywhere you see, they are talking about this film. Thus why I went to go see it.
Okay. That's not explaining what it is.
No, but that's the setup.
I know.
That's
explain what it is.
That is what drove me to see it. I saw a commercial. I saw a trailer for it. It basically set it up as
the
Wolf of Wall Street-esque, but telemarketer calling.
So what is it?
So what is it? It's an interesting film. It's definitely in the same vein as Get Out, which it takes a simple concept of let's meet my parents, but then compounds so many social commentary on top of it to where you feel like you're suffocating, to where like you feel like you're getting kicked in the head, but at the same time comes across in a clear message like, hey, this is happening, we should do something.
Right.
So that's the simple way of putting this. I could talk about this film for probably a good hour and a half.
Well, don't do that.
Because it just goes into so many existential layers as to what it tries to say, how it goes about saying that. Also, Armie Hammer's in this thing.
I had heard that Armie Hammer is in this thing.
Yeah. Armie Hammer's in this thing. I like him more in this thing than he did in Call Me By Your Name.
Did you see, by the way, this is a little bit of a tangent, did you see that apparently fans of Armie Hammer are bringing him peaches to sign?
Really?
Yes.
Because
it's become a thing now.
Call Me By Your Name.
They bring peaches to him.
Serious?
They're signed by Peach.
Wow.
Sorry, anyways.
That's funny. Yeah, Armie Hammer's in this. It's good. Directed by one Boots Riley.
Yeah.
Was he from anything?
Nah, I don't know.
I don't think he is.
But he's like a dude.
Yeah. I didn't bother to look it up. But from what I witnessed, he's definitely got a vision. And he definitely knows what he wants to say and goes about going about saying it. It's definitely a fly by the seat of your pants, very fast-paced film. It's very entertaining. But this is where I put the caution up, because just like with Get Out, I can easily see some people going into this thing thinking it's one thing, then coming out being like, what did I just watch?
Yeah.
It went in a really weird direction. I don't get it. And it's not what I expected out of the film. With that really huge divot of a caveat that's basically at the crux of the second act. End of the second act at the turning point. It really goes in a weird direction. I like how they go about it because it comes out of your face out of nowhere, and then it literally backpedals and explains everything about as you do whenever something in your face like that, and it basically explains what it means, and it's a great allegory about workforce and doing what you want versus doing what you love, and having a workforce and workhorse mentality, and a black black person in a office job versus how you should act in an office job, having a so-called white voice, and how having a white voice leads to success or the image of success. It's a very heavy film. There's a lot to this film. I would definitely like to see this thing again to get the full scope of it.
I feel like I should see this.
You should see this.
Because as somebody who's worked in a call center before, I'm already feeling some things.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh boy.
Well, no, it's not a call center. It's what is it? A telemarketing.
Right.
But yeah.
But there's similarities.
Similarities, same idea, same concept. But yeah, Sorry to Bother You is... The title isn't necessarily towards the call center of people calling. Right. It's actually pointed towards the audience, as in saying, sorry to bother you, but...
Think about these things.
Think about these things
now. That's a clever title for something like this. So on the
the title got me.
Yeah.
The title got me.
Yeah.
So on the Padded Media scale...
This sounds like see it.
Oh, it's definite see it. It's still limited release. It's not everywhere. So see it if it's available to you.
Boutique theater.
I'm just giving you a heads up warning that it may not be what the film you think it is, but it's definitely the film you probably should see.
No, that sounds great. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
That sounds like that's probably up my alley.
Yeah, if it comes up on streaming, definitely watch it.
Yeah, I bet that'll be something that goes on to Hulu pretty soon.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool.
But, yeah.
Well, that does it for new releases. So let's move into movie news.
All right.
Let's get rolling. All right, our first story is a follow-up story about a movie that we announced sort of semi-confirmed a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Zombieland 2, a sequel, of course, to the 2009 hit Zombieland. Well, it's been officially greenlit now, with its stars and creators returning to the project, as previously said.
So this was back in 2009 when Zombieland came out.
Yeah, can you believe how long ago that was?
10 years. And 10 years is a long time. These creators of Zombieland have gone to do some amazing stuff since.
Kind of did.
Yeah.
And the stars have as well. So to kind of break it down for you, writers Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese, who also wrote Deadpool.
And Deadpool 2. They're the Deadpool fair guys.
They have penned the script, again. For the director, also returning, Ruben Fleischer, who is set to direct Venom, coming later this year, to return to the helm. It will star, of course, Academy Award winner Woody Harrelson, Academy Award winner Emma Stone,
Recent Academy Award winner Harrelson.
Academy Award nominee Abigail Breslin, and Academy Award nominee Jesse Eisenberg. Yes, every single person from the main cast of this movie has either won or been nominated for an Oscar. So that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Film is set to begin production in January and should be released in October 2019, fittingly meeting the 10th anniversary of the original film.
So this is good. This is actually one of the few zombie films that I actually enjoy.
Yeah.
Maybe because it doesn't take itself too seriously and it's more comedic in tone than an actual zombie film.
I liked it at the time.
Yeah.
I feel like recent times I've seen the movie, I'm like, yeah, this hasn't aged super well. But at the time, I really liked it.
Yeah, it's a good zombie film.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's funny. It's got its moments. There's a big Twinkie hunt. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Definitely rent it. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
Moving on to our next story. Speaking of China, as we talked about in the Skyscraper piece, big budget films are never a guarantee, even in China.
So normally they are. You'd think you put up like $100+ million, you expect to make it back.
So one such film, the fantasy epic Surah, has been promoted as China's most expensive movie ever made, going over $110 million for its budget. But guess what? It only made $7.1 million over its opening weekend.
I'm seeing some like Seventh Son in this thing.
Yeah, a little bit. In response to the epic failure, the film's producers have pulled the film from cinemas immediately. Wait, guys, that's not how you make more money.
This is why this is a thing. This is why we're talking about it.
A representative on the film said this decision was made not only because of the bad box office. We plan to make some changes to the film and release it again. That's not how this works.
I know that's not how this works.
What are they doing?
You're going to have a film out there with 2 release dates now.
These guys just... I'm a fixed wolves.
I'm a fixed wolf.
This movie. I'm a fix Asura.
I'm going to fix this film for you.
And not even that, too, because Kanye didn't pull wolves. He left it there.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Well,
I don't know.
For the majority of the entire album, actually, he left the original album still intact on Tidal, but everywhere else it's fixed. So why can't they just like fix it in the DVD post or whatever?
Yeah,
make a decision.
This doesn't make any sense. But who am I? I'm no producer of a $100.
At least it's no like live,
film.
die, repeat situation here.
God, yeah.
Edge of Tomorrow. Make up a name.
Speaking of re-releases, but in a different way, our next story is about a re-release of a way more classic and successable film.
Well, more like a list of successful films.
But one such film has been has a 10th anniversary to celebrate.
So let's see, 2008?
Indeed.
What was big in 2008?
The biggest movie in 2008,
of course. The first Iron Man.
No.
No?
You're close.
Oh.
He's a superhero. It's Batman. The Dark Knight is set to make a return to theaters to celebrate the film's 10th anniversary. I remember seeing that at midnight.
Yeah, I saw that at midnight as well.
It, however, will only be in 4 IMAX locations. Guess where? Name those 4 major cities.
I wrote the story. I know where it is.
It's no fun if you don't answer.
All right, it's gonna be L.A., New York, San Francisco, and Toronto.
Yep, one Canada just to add flavor. So yeah, if you live anywhere near those major cities, then go see the re-release. That might be a fun night at the IMAX.
Yes. Note that this will be re-released in IMAX only.
Yeah. Which makes sense because that movie had several shots that were filmed in IMAX.
A majority of that film was filmed in IMAX and actually paved the way for more films to be shot exclusively in IMAX.
Indeed it did.
Mainly a lot of Christopher Nolan films.
All right. Next up in the re-release announcements here, in our little re-release section, The Big Lebowski will also be being released. As you have here, it will be abiding in theaters for 2 days in August to celebrate its 20th anniversary on August 5th and 8th. The film has since been, of course, inducted to the National Library of Congress Film Registry and a yearly festival where it's shown annually. So yeah, there you go.
Yep. So get your robes, get your White Russians, and head to a theater in August.
Indeed. But probably don't bring the booze in the theater. They might not be happy with that.
Just don't tell them.
Just don't tell them. All right, next up, another 20th anniversary. This time, for your anime fans out there, Cowboy Bebop, the classic anime film based on the anime, will be celebrating its 20th anniversary, and Funimation will be releasing both a sub and a dub of the film. The sub on August 13th through, I guess, one of those Fathom events. Yeah. And a dub on August 15th. So if you like the Cowboy Bebop, and I actually knew a lot of people in high school who swore by that thing, if I had a nickel for every time somebody said, "Oh, do you watch anime?" and I said no, and they say, "Well, you should watch Cowboy Bebop," I would have probably enough money to go to Hawaii right now. Like, God, it's the thing. It's like that's the go-to.
It's the introductory of anime that
people love to use that one as the example. But like, oh, trust me, even if you think you don't like anime, watch Cowboy Bebop.
Or it's like, do you like Miyazaki? Here, watch this.
Cowboy Bebop. It's like everybody's answer. It's fine.
Yeah.
I saw the first episode. I'm like, yeah, this still isn't for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a tough customer, I guess.
You are a tough customer.
But,
You're like one of the toughest customers I know.
Yeah. All right.
Like a cookie.
I'm like a tough cookie. So yeah, so if you like to see any of those classic movies, you can very, very soon here. Moving on, our next story is about people who make a lot of money.
So it's the middle of summer and news is kind of slow.
So that's when we have a story about people who make a lot of money. So Forbes has announced their highest paid celebrity list. And we don't have the whole list for you here because that would take too long, but we do have a smattering of people who are notable here. Number 1.
It's just the top 5.
Hell?
It's the top 5. What?
I think you mean Floyd Mayweather?
Yeah, right. Floyd Money Mayweather. It auto-corrected.
So
it auto-corrected.
That's what I'm going to call him from now on now. Okay. So boxer, of course, Floyd Mayweather. Or Floyd Money Latefather, as apparently is his new name from us, is your number 1 highest paid celebrities. Ugh. And he's followed by George Clooney, Kylie Jenner, Judy Shendlin, and Dwayne Johnson in the rest of the top 5.
To give you an estimate of how much those top 2 are earning,
yeah,
Kylie Jenner's at $900 million.
Right. So you can imagine how much higher George Clooney is.
Yes.
Yeah, there was this thing, in case you guys missed it, on the internet about, like, somebody started freaking GoFundMe to get Kylie Jenner to be a billionaire.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not.
No, that's not how that works.
How this works.
You can't just give someone money. I mean
that's what her parents did.
Yeah.
Oh! Anyways. All right. I mean, she did something.
I saw some other worse jokes out there as well.
Yeah, no. She did some things.
We're not going to repeat here.
All I'll say about it is that she did some things to earn her money. Yes, I'm not saying anything about her entrepreneurial spirit or anything because I don't want to, crap on if the actual effort she's made in her career.
Yes.
That being said, you cannot use self-made in anything that Kylie Jenner does. She was not self-made.
Mm-hmm.
She comes from a family of wealth. There is privilege in there, and you can have both. You can have it.
This is a film section.
I know.
Film section.
Hey. She's been in movies.
Alright, come on, finish the story.
Alright, the Celebrity 100 earnings minimum, by the way, is $35 million. And 11 entertainers have earned over $100 million over the past year.
Yep. Yeah. So,
that's a lot.
It's a lot.
Money.
Yeah, 35. Talk about what percenters.
Seriously.
Alright.
There they all are.
Okay.
Let's move into television.
Let's move into
some different kind of news. Starting with, of course, sports. So the top sports story, of course, is we are recording this after the World Cup has ended. And the big final between France and Croatia, well, everybody saw it coming. France took it in a pretty close game for a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of got crazy in the second, but other than that, it was pretty entertaining.
I think 6 goals were scored. 4-2 was the final.
4-2.
Yeah.
France didn't necessarily do a whole lot to actually earn that 4.
No, but they were able to capitalize on a lot of mistakes made by Croatia, and that is the deciding factor. Even though Croatia had the ball in their attacking position,
a lot
more.
They had more shots, I think, by the end of the night than France did.
Yeah, but of course, all that matters are balls and goals.
Balls and goals. So yeah, I'm sure the whole country of France is super psyched about this, and will be psyched for the rest of the year. Next up in sports, hometown hero Bryce Harper wins the baseball home run derby.
Yes, hometown hero of the Washington Nationals, as that's where the home run derby and All-Star game took place.
Yeah, had taken place. Yep. So good for Mr. Bryce.
Oh, and if you missed the home run derby, hot damn, go check that out. They were hitting bombs left and right. I don't think anybody hit less than 12 when they were up.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Well, they also changed the format too to where it's a time format instead of 10 outs.
Oh, okay.
So as before where it was you'd swing, and if you don't make it the first 4, 5, 6 times till you finally hit a home run, then you have 4 outs left.
Are you saying that now it works like the video game does?
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's definitely a better format. I think they're going to keep it this way.
Yeah.
It keeps it more exciting, and there's still the bonus balls and stuff.
Bonus balls. I had some bonus balls right here. If you like bonus balls, then you probably also watch the All-Star Game.
Talk about a home run derby.
Yeah, speaking of home runs, the American League won the All-Star Game in extra innings with back-to-back home runs in the 10th inning.
Not only that, but of the 13 runs scored, 7 of them were home runs.
Damn.
So a lot of solo shots out there.
I mean, that's what you want from an All-Star Game. You want super-powered people all the time.
Yeah. When you have creative player Aaron Judge going after Mike Trout with back-to-back home runs, that's what you get.
That's what you want.
It's what you do.
That's what you do.
When you're an All-Star player, that's what you do. You hit home runs.
And lastly, in sports, something that's happening right now on the West Coast.
Yeah, I love them bonus balls.
Bonus balls. If you're watching right now on the West Coast, or if you're on the East Coast, you've already seen this. But tonight, of course, are the ESPYs, the annual ESPN Sports Awards.
And of course, if you're listening to us via podcast,
you're not watching the ESPYs.
No.
You may be watching both, and congratulations if you are. But yeah, they are hosted this year by Danica Patrick.
The retired Danica
Patrick. And enjoying dating bliss with Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, dating, not married.
They're not engaged, they're not married, no announcements here.
No, but she's still a GoDaddy girl.
I mean, but now she's doing professional ads for her.
For GoDaddy.
For them. Yeah, it seems like she's no, I'm the business person now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good for her. So yeah, that's happening right now. So Manly Man Tears, get ready.
Yep, I've been wiping my eyes quite a bit.
You don't even know what's happening.
It's the Pat Tillman Award.
You're the Pat Tillman Award. All right, that's it for sports. Unless you have anything else to add.
No, we're in the middle of the off season.
Yep.
We'll talk about some stuff at the end of this podcast, but right now, no. I mean, this is why the ESPYs are actually on. Because we're in one of 2 days where professional sports are not being played.
Yep.
So
it's too bad.
There's nothing happening. I mean, there's news, people being signed places, people are retiring, but nothing for enough for us to cover.
Yes.
You know, it's not like anyone's winning awards right now.
Not yet.
Not yet.
All right, so let's move out of sports then and talk about proper television news.
My mom was ecstatic about Danica Patrick hosting, so
Right.
worth noting that she's watching the ESPYs.
There you go.
Yep. Well, she is a fan of
Something
DP.
for everybody.
Yep.
All right, moving on into proper television news, our weekly story about Netflix gets early here.
Nope.
Yep, that's
nope.
what's... Oh, shoot, I'm
Nope.
skipping. You're right.
You skipped.
I skipped because this is a bigger deal, and I thought we were going to leave this for the last. Emmy Nominations. So, in case you are interested in this kind of thing, Emmy Nominations hit last week, and so we know who's up for the Emmys.
And surprise, surprise. Well, no surprise.
No
Guess who's
surprises.
leading the pack?
It's Game of Thrones, now that they're eligible again this year, leading everybody with 22 nominations. Behind them, SNL, that's Saturday Night Live, and Westworld with 21 each. This follows trend with last year, where Saturday Night Live also, I believe, led in nominations, or close to it.
Close to it.
Netflix passed HBO for highest nominations for a single network at 112 to HBO's 108. Colin Jost and Michael Che are your hosts, and they will be hosting the show on September the 17th. So what do you think overall about those noms?
So, I forgot Game of Thrones was eligible.
Right.
Because, one, it's been so long, but two, it feels like they just won for Battle of the Bastards, where it won all the awards.
Nope, that was
Which
2
was
years ago.
2 seasons ago.
2 seasons ago, you're
Yeah.
right.
So, going off of this past season...
This past season, you have to remember, was the one that the fans weren't super hot on.
Right, because this is the
So
first...
this will be interesting.
Well, because this was the first season where they went past the books.
Right, exactly.
And basically had to write their own stuff, which none of it was super shocking because it was all set up for the final season, which they recently just finished shooting.
So it'll be interesting to see what the Emmy voters thought of this stuff. Because we saw the internet reaction, and your reaction was a little less negative. I remember you coming out pretty positively over it.
Yeah.
Saying it was fun, and it did everything you wanted it to do, as opposed to, like, the internet, which was basically just pissed because it wasn't the books anymore.
Well, one, they went past the books. Two, there wasn't as many major character deaths. But that's because you saved those for your final season.
Right, that's
You
not
saved
gonna
them for the finale. This is, like, as I said while we were watching it, this all feels like setup. Like, they're getting some of the lore out of the way, and this is all putting the pieces in position to make sure this person has good reason to hate this person, and this person meets back up with this person, because we all these characters in these central locations in order to set in motion the final big battles that are going to happen.
Yep. So, yeah, Game of Thrones...
So, it may not win.
Yeah, I don't know. It's got some challenge this year, like you said.
Handmaid's Tale may...
Handmaid's Tale might carry over.
The Crown may carry over as well.
Westworld might be a surprise.
Westworld is a surprise.
It's a tough category this year.
Yeah, especially for... Yeah, drama's a tough category.
Comedy also is, surprisingly enough.
Atlanta is the favorite.
Atlanta's the favorite after last year. But The Good Place could be your sleeper hit here, because it's a network show, which means it's a little less hot than the other stuff, but it's a really, in my opinion, as I said in our year wrap-up stuff, it's the strongest network sitcom in years.
I think that was your number one show.
It was, because I genuinely believe it is the strongest network sitcom I've seen in like a decade.
Well, it is doing a lot of stuff that other shows wouldn't touch.
Yeah.
It's really existential, but given the setting, it can do that kind of stuff.
And it's got the kind of thing that Emmy voters really love, which is that kind of self-referential kind of stuff. Remember how much 30 Rock used to win?
Yeah.
This could be that.
Okay.
That's why I'm kind of like, at least putting it in there. Don't forget about, just because it's not prestige-y and it's not on a cable network, don't forget about The Good Place. Don't count it out.
People won't watch it, won't like it, won't understand it. I was going to say something about The Good Place, I think.
Ted Danson.
That's what it was.
Nomination for actor.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Right.
He won't win, but that's awesome.
No, but that nomination actually puts him as the most nominated comedy actor.
Nice. Good for him.
Right. And then, there's one other milestone. It was Game of Thrones related. That's what it was. That was Tyrion Lannister. The what's his name?
That guy.
Yes. You know him, you love him.
Yeah.
You want to hang out with him, you want to party with him. Tyrion Lannister.
But we can't think of his name.
There's a D in there somewhere. I know that. I'll shout it out later in the podcast.
Yeah, we'll think of it, I'm sure.
Yeah. Because he got nominated again for supporting actor in a drama, he becomes he's been nominated every single year for that show. So he now holds the record for supporting cast member in a drama. Great.
That's cool.
Yeah. I think that's all the milestones there were. You can definitely check out the full list at Emmys.com. You unfortunately cannot vote for this.
No, you're not eligible. If you're watching this. Unless you are, then get in contact with us, please. But yeah, voting's already over. But yes, the September 17th will be the ceremony. So
I thought
check it out.
No, I thought they still vote from the nominations.
Oh yeah, sorry. Nomination votes are over. I mean, yes, voting is happening for the actual winners.
Right.
All right, let's move on. Now we're going into our weekly Netflix story.
Yes.
But this is also kind of a follow-up story.
Peter Dinklage,
thank you.
Got it.
That is.
I knew there was a D.
It's a follow-up to our story about the Weinstein Company and the never-ending aftermath of its explosion.
I swear, we're going to stop talking about the Weinstein Company at some point.
In agreement with Lantern Entertainment, which is the group that we mentioned that kind of ended up being the victors of the spoils at the end of all this.
Yeah, who bought all the Weinstein Company.
Netflix has terminated its streaming deal with that company that formerly existed as the Weinstein Company. So, they will no longer be obligated to accept delivery or make payments for any films, television shows, or other content from them as of July 11th. So, what does this affect? Everything but two exceptions. Season 2 of the animated Spy Kids series, which I keep forgetting exists, and the British period gangster show Peaky Blinders. That's what that's about?
Apparently that's what that's about.
I keep seeing it, I'm like, what the hell is Peaky Blinders?
Yeah, I always see it. Promoted on Netflix. I'm like, no.
What's a Peaky Blinders?
Your title does not excite me.
British
I don't want to watch
gangsters. It. Alright, there we know.
And now I don't even want to watch it even more.
Peaky Blinders will remain on the service uninterrupted. This has, by the way, resulted in Netflix holding on to $1.6 million in license fees, which will be paid once the courts make a ruling between Weinstein Company and Endemol Shine, which was, I guess, the division of Endemol.
That's the division of Endemol that actually produced a lot of these shows. And because they're no longer going to be on Netflix, it means they don't get their streaming deal. Yeah. But I think it would, depending on how the courts work out their deal with the Weinstein Company, in terms of how much they owe, that money could come from the Netflix withholdings right now.
That makes sense.
So it may... I mean, this is good. Weinsteins don't get paid. But we lose some content. But Netflix has made so much content at this point that it's kind of a wash.
Did you see...
I think they're looking to get rid of it anyways, but this gets out of them earlier.
Yeah. By the way, did you see that he reared his ugly head for the first time in, like, literal months?
No.
Harvey finally made, like, a public statement, and guess what it was?
I'm with Donald Trump?
No, it wasn't that.
Political?
No, it was basically like, he said something along the lines of like, it's like, oh, that's how everybody does it in Hollywood.
And that's why it needs to change.
It's like, no, that's not true, but alright. Yeah, I thought that was dumb. Alright, speaking of dumb, and short memories, apparently.
Yes.
People at HBO must have really short memories, because they gave Joss Whedon a job.
Yeah, that brings us to our next story.
Anyways.
So remember when everyone, blacklisted Joss Whedon for 3 months?
HBO doesn't give a shit, and they gave him a new show. Joss Whedon's back with another HBO show. This one's called The Nevers. I'm going to make this quick. Described an epic sci-fi drama about a gang of Victorian women who find themselves with unusual abilities, relentless enemies, and a mission that might change the world. Whedon will serve as a writer, director, executive producer, and showrunner. And this will be his first show since Dollhouse on Fox, and serving as an executive producer on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It sounds like you're not excited for this.
No, okay, no. This just sounds like he's making a Lady Firefly.
Yeah.
So this is,
but there's no space elements?
For somebody, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, man, HBO, come on. You could have had anybody else do this thing.
Joss Whedon needs money.
No, he really doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. He's fine. He's a very rich man. Moving on.
Wow. You just didn't want to talk about this thing, don't you?
Moving on. All right.
Do you want to at least mention what he did?
No.
Okay. You want to say why you don't like this guy anymore?
No. You should know. You should know better.
If you pay attention to our show.
Pay attention to our show, or just things in general.
Do a quick Google search.
I don't need to explain to people.
Do a quick Google search.
All right. Moving on to our last story, which is about the endless parade of 90s franchises coming back. This time, it's Nickelodeon's Rugrats. So how is it coming back, you ask?
Is it a TV show or a film?
Guess what? It's both.
What?
So, Nickelodeon is reviving the animated series with 26 new episodes and a live-action film from Paramount. Production has already begun, though no date or cast has been announced. The original creators of the 1991 series, aka the Claspy and Chupo of the Claspy and Chupo,
yes.
Will be your executive producers. The film is being described as a live-action film featuring CGI characters with a November 13th, 2020 release. This is the latest revival, of course, of Nickelodeon franchises, following the news of Blue's Clues, Rocko's Modern Life, and Invader Zim.
So the only thing I can think of this is the dancing babies from the early 90s. From the early 2000s.
They just should make this a CG movie. Why? Just do it like freaking Boss Baby. Like, don't bring in real actors.
Why make it live action?
Why bother? If you're gonna have CG babies, so dumb.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's the CG babies. That's the only thing that makes sense, right?
CG dog.
What else is? Yeah, is the dog CG? Like.
Or they're babies. So.
That being said, 26 new episodes of animated Rugrats sounds potentially cool.
Yeah.
And that could be something that it would be interesting if they get the right people on it.
I mean, we've seen the success that DuckTales has been having.
Right, yeah, for
Woohoo.
sure. And woohoo. And yeah, I think that that's an interesting show to bring back because you could be really creative now. Just as you were able to back then. But, it would be really interesting to play with those characters in a current day situation.
Also, all those kids that were watching this growing up
have babies
now have
babies of
their own.
Turns out
to watch Rugrats.
Well, they've got a little Rugrats of their own.
Yep.
So yeah, interesting. I want to see at least what that thing looks like. That'd be interesting. But man, do I have zero interest in the live action movie. Sam's discussing and I want no part of it. All right, let's wrap up television with some thoughts. We watched the entire 6-episode dump of the
binge watch.
Joel McHale show. Joel McHale, what is it?
The Joel McHale show with Joel McHale
with
show.
Joel McHale.
Joel show with Joel McHale.
On Netflix. And I think the lesson that came out of that one...
Make it a weekly show.
Don't binge it. Because...
It's not yes.
That's a show that works because... And The Soup was like this too. That's a show that works because it's a weekly thing that you only see once a week. Mm-hmm. And it gathers up what happened the previous week.
Right.
If you watch 6 episodes in a row... The way that they've set up the bits and the celebrity appearances is just so regimented and so, this is so expected. You know what they're going to do every single step of the way, that none of it was surprising, and so the jokes weren't as funny. That was my problem with it.
Yeah, it's definitely a structured thing at this point, which is weird for a first season.
Yeah.
But it does what it is. It went in knowing what it wanted to do.
Yeah,
and
it still is that show.
It still is that show. It still is the soup, basically.
So if you like that format...
Also, but you have to give...
There.
I mean, you see why they do that, because they have to give everyone working on the show a break.
They're giving us summer vacation, which is
right.
Good. But the question now is, do they renew it? All they've confirmed is those bonus 6 episodes we just got. They have not confirmed a proper season 2, so who knows if this will return. I have my doubts.
Yeah.
I've got something in the back. You know, before the 6 episodes, I didn't have it, but now, after these 6 episodes, I have a thing in the back of my head that says, ooh, they might not bring this back.
I think if they are able to work out a contract where they can work, like, four months and then take a month off, and 4 months to take a month off, and then, like, 3 months to take a month off.
Yeah.
And then that's, like, over a year right there, because that's, like,
yeah, maybe. If they
months.
make some sort of thing that works like that.
Yeah. But, I mean, do you have anything else to watch?
Nope, nothing on this list.
Nope, it's summer lull.
Summer lull.
Yep, summer's lulls.
Makes me feel fine.
Alright,
let's move in then to cancellations and renewals. We have no cancellations, but we do have some renewals.
Yep.
First up, Pose on FX gets a 2nd season. That was a visual gag for those of you listening to the audio podcast. Sweet Bitter.
Not bittersweet. That is indeed Sweet Bitter.
Sweet Bitter gets a season 2 on Stars. Queer Eye on Netflix, that's a reboot. Is confirmed to get a 3rd season following its just aired 2nd.
Right, but they will instead move production to Kansas City.
Okay.
I think it's Kansas City.
Interesting. Ransom on CBS will get a 3rd season as well.
That's a shocker. I thought they were done with that.
No more. There's more Ransom to come.
All right.
Lastly, we have Deaths, and this one's a sad one. Her boots were made for walking, but that's not what they're going to do in heaven, because I think she'd walk through some clouds or something.
The boots are not going to walk all over you?
Nancy Sinatra has died. You do not have her age on here.
No.
Is because we're being gentlemen about it? Is that why?
Yes.
Okay, we were gentlemen. We cannot disclose Nancy Sinatra's age. But she passed, of course, she was the wife of Frank Sinatra.
And mother of Frank Sinatra.
Yep, she said she was. She said she was going to. She did it.
Yeah, mother of Frank Sinatra, the junior. Yeah, she was also a wife.
Yeah, she was a wife. That's what Frank Sinatra said.
Yep.
All the time. He did his Borat impression. And said my wife. Alright, let's move on. That does it for television. And we get to move on into music. And we always start with music.
With the Billboard
charts.
Alright, does Drake...
It's
Does
Drake again.
Drake retain?
The Drake season isn't over because Drake has a #1 song again, but guess what? It's a new #1 song.
Wait, did Drake replace Drake?
Drake replaced Drake again this week. Your new #1 song is In My Feelings by Drake, which was, I believe, in the top 5 last week, but was moved up to #1.
Ooh.
That is your #1 song. Moving down to #2, I Like It, or actually, I guess it was moving up from last week. I Like It by Cardi B, Bad, whatever. This new version of Billboard has cut off the names. So I cannot see, and this is a picture, so I can't click through. #3, Girls Like You by Maroon 5 and People. #4, moving down from #1, Nice for What by Drake. And #5, something called Booed Up by Ella May. Booed Up.
Ella May?
Ella May.
Oh, Ella May.
Ella May.
I don't know what that is.
Something called Booed Up.
I don't know what that
like,
is.
I got in a relationship, so I got booed up, I guess. I have a boo now.
I thought that was called being shipped. Is it like relationship?
It's a little different. It's like bayed up. Like I have a bay. Like a boo. Anyways, I gotta move on. Your Billboard 200 your albums chart is topped by Drake's Scorpion for a second week.
Of course it is.
#2, Beer Bongs and Bentleys by Post Malone.
Of course it is.
Debuting at #3 this week, Future with Beast Mode 2.
Oh, is it a sequel to Beast Mode?
A sequel to Beast Mode. #4, Still, question mark by XXX Tentacoin. And #5, Invasion of Privacy by Cardi B. That is your boring-ass Billboard list for the week of July 18th.
I think they're trying to tell me what to listen to,
God, no.
and I have yet to listen to anything
Drake,
on those
more
lists.
Drake.
Either list, I've yet to listen to anything on.
Well, maybe you'll listen to one of these albums that are coming out on Friday.
What is coming out on Friday?
We have Buddy.
That's Buddy.
We have Buddy with...
Buddy.
I've forgotten which one is... Okay. Yeah, that's the artist. Buddy is the artist.
Buddy.
With the album Harlan and Alondra. Okay. We have Forms with Semblance. Laurie McKenna with The Tree. Punch Brothers with All Ashore. Skeleton Witch with Devouring Radiant Light. The Internet with Hive Mind.
The Internet.
And Ty Segall and White Fence with Joy.
Nope.
Those are your new releases.
Nope.
You gotta say those?
Nope.
Me neither.
There is a new song out by Magic Dragons, which means there's going to be a new album out by them.
Boring.
It was okay.
I can't imagine those dragons.
We must imagine the dragons.
I still can't.
I can't believe you still can't imagine the dragons.
I cannot imagine those dragons.
Dude, just imagine the dragons already.
I can't imagine them. Like, are they like Chinese dragons? Are they like British looking dragons?
They're from Las Vegas. They're Vegas dragons.
Vegas dragons?
They're Vegas golden dragons.
Golden dragons. Alright, let's move into music news. Our first story is a funny one. I think I pointed out this to you.
You did. That's why it's here.
The band Massive Attack.
Yes, that is a band.
Massive Attack has canceled their performance that was going to take place at Madrid's Mad Cool Festival. It was a cool name for a festival, might I add. Due to a scheduling conflict with the band Franz Ferdinand. Yes, that Franz Ferdinand. According to a statement from Mad Cool, Massive Attack claimed that the, quote, sound of the stage where Franz Ferdinand was playing at the time would bother them during the performance of their show. The festival organizers claimed they did everything possible to delay the schedules of other bands, but Massive Attack made the unilateral decision to cancel their performance. So, basically, they were like, those kids are too damn loud.
Which is funny, because I think Massive Attack is younger.
Band.
Or they're older?
No, they're an older band. They've been around longer than Franz Ferdinand has.
Okay.
To give you an idea. So this makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
But that being said, I mean, sure, yeah, Franz Ferdinand probably does play a loud set.
And it's Franz Ferdinand.
They're a rock band.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, if you want, when you hear Take Me Out, you want to hear Take Me Out real loud.
Do they pump up the bass?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Like, they really...
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, you gotta have that riff.
Yeah.
That riff has to be super loud.
Yeah.
That being said, people, regardless of who you're watching at a festival, be smart. Wear earplugs.
Yeah.
Don't blast your ears out.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, wear earplugs. Do it.
No, not wear earplugs. Just blast my ears out when I go to
well,
festivals.
Don't do that. Wear earplugs.
Yeah, definitely do that.
Right.
Speaking of festivals,
People touring, Paul Simon is calling it quits after 50 years touring. He has just finished his final tour, billed Homeward Bound, the farewell performance.
That's a nice name.
He concluded it with, you guessed it, an acoustic version of Sound of Silence in London's Hyde Park. Although he is done touring, he is not done making music. As his 14th studio album has just been announced, it will be called In the Blue Light and is set for September later this year. He said, quote, showbiz doesn't hold any interest for me. I am going to see what happens if I let go. Probably smart.
This just means that he's not going to be touring. Yeah. He still doesn't make music. I think he's going to try and enjoy his later years. Congratulations, Tyler, on winning.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It looks like it.
It totally looks like it.
Totally looks like it.
That's funny. But yeah,
yeah.
So, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I mean, yeah, he's getting older. It makes sense. Alright, let's move on.
Yeah.
Next story is about Chance. Which Chance? Chance the Rapper, of course.
The rapping Chance, of course.
He has indicated he will release a new album this week. Surprise.
Or
as he is finishing up the follow-up album to Coloring Book, his last album, which should be out just in a few days.
Or will he?
Maybe
or will
not.
he?
He is quoted to say that if it's going to come out just in time for the Special Olympics, which are on July 21st. Now, historically, Chance has released his work on streaming platforms, including his last album, 2016's Coloring Book, was streamed exclusively on Apple Music for 2 weeks before it became free everywhere else. It went on to become the first streaming-only album to win a Grammy. I believe it won Best Rap Album.
I believe it did win Best Rap Album.
So there you go. We could very well have New Chance record this week.
Probably, but most likely not. In the recent interview, he said that he made a tweet either yesterday or today that the album will not be dropping on Friday, but he is still working on it.
Okay.
So, not coming out, but it will probably be out very soon. He will still meet that deadline, which is next week.
Okay.
Next Friday we have New Chance.
Possibly. Let's look forward to that.
And I know that's how I dance to Chance
Dance. That's your Chance Dance.
That's a Chance Dance.
You listen to the lyrics of Space Jam, and when you had your chance, you did your dance. Just read
the next story. Just read the next story.
All right.
All right.
All right. Lastly,
moving on
to the VMAs. The MTV VMAs have been announced, and Cardi B leads with the nominations with 10. And her song, is that her in Finesse Remix?
Yes, that's her song.
It has 5 nominations. The Carters, that's Jay-Z and Beyonce, are next with 8 nominations, and all of them going towards the music video for Ape Shit, the one that's in the Louvre.
Is that what that one is?
That's that.
I should probably watch some of these.
Childish Gambino, a.k.a. Donald Glover, has 7 nominations, with all of them going towards This Is America, of course. Voting is now open until the show on August 20th at Radio City Music Hall in New York City, so you can vote.
Yes, this is one you can actually vote for.
Yep.
You can vote once per day on MTV's website if you so choose. I believe you can go through Twitter as well to get there. But yeah, vote for your VMA. These are the music video awards, not just for the songs. Leave those to the Grammys. Yep. Also, do these matter? I don't know. Matter to someone. Somebody. Moonman's.
All right. So that wraps up music news. Did you listen to anything this week?
Like I said, I listened to the new Imagine Dragons single.
Yeah. Okay.
I forget what it's called. It didn't really catch me.
That sounds about right.
But it sounds about right for the first song from them. Then again, they had quite a banger album, the last one. So according to some. So this could be an off album for them. We'll see.
Yes, we'll see.
But hey, look forward to do Imagine Dragons later this year.
Do I have to look forward to it?
I will.
Can I just deal?
You will.
I listened to something this week.
What did you listen to?
I listened to the brand new Deaf Heaven album. Deaf Heaven's a metal band, but they're kind of like a melodic, pretty metal band.
A pretty metal band?
Yeah, you don't really understand. Like, you have to. I would probably listen to something from them because that's really hard to explain. You would understand if you had heard it. But yeah, they're
pretty
new
metal band.
They put out a new record this week. They put out really exceptionally pretty soundscapes, and then a dude starts yelling.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you're not like me, if you're not a fan of like screaming dudes, then that's the one detractor here. But everything else is actually really cool. Like, they're a really cool band. There's some really great stuff in there. And if you're a metal person, apparently this band is very divisive because the metalheads think that they're too soft to be metal, and the people who aren't into metal think they're too metal to be cool. And so it's like this weird, but for a lot of people, it hits the sweet spot. And there are a lot of big fans of this band. So check out Death Heaven if that sounds interesting. This is their, I want to say, third or fourth record. So they've been around for a little bit here, but yeah, new material by them. So check it out if that sounds like your jam. All right, let's move on to video games. That's our last segment here.
Yep.
We always start with new releases. So this week, what do we got?
What do we have?
We have a new Adventure Time game for PlayStation 4 and Switch. That's Adventure Time Pirates of the Enchiridion. We also have
Are they not done with Adventure Time games?
The Adventure Time show is done, but I guess they're not done with games yet.
Oh, okay.
Mugsters for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Let's Sing 2018 for PlayStation 4 and Switch.
Yes, that is a Let's Sing game.
Let's Sing.
This day and age.
Chicken Assassin, Reloaded for PlayStation 4 and Switch. If you want to see a Chicken Assassin, and I know I do, check out Chicken Assassin.
That still makes me
Reloaded.
laugh.
Hop Along the Badlands for the PlayStation 4.
Not
related to
not
the band Hop Along, as that I know of at least. Ice Cream Surfer for the PlayStation 4. That sounds like my jam.
Yeah.
And lastly, Sonic Mania Plus, which is a re-release of Sonic Mania with all the bonus stuff, and for Switch.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, check that out.
Check that out.
First up in video game news, we have a story from Germany, the far-flung nation of Germany. They have outlawed marketing games with vague dates like coming soon or shipping soon to lure pre-orders, thanks to a Munich regional high court. This applies to any retailer that sells a pre-order or a digital software license. The reseller must specify when a buyer will have the product or digital license in their possession before making the sale. So basically what this means is that if you go into a German store and you try to buy a pre-order something that does not have a confirmed release date, you will not be able to.
Yeah. This is just prevent stuff like Kingdom Hearts 3, people who pre-order it and having that pre-order for over a year, because it says eventually it'll come out, but not yet. It's just so that you don't give away your money for stuff that may or may not come out.
Yeah.
A la,
Well, this is probably defense.
Yeah.
This is probably a defense against like stuff like.
I might just like blanking for everything.
Yeah, we're bad at pronouns today.
Yeah.
Proper nouns today.
Yeah. Crackdown 3 being delayed.
Yeah, maybe Crackdown things getting delayed. Maybe stuff like the No Man's Sky stuff. Probably.
Yeah.
It's like games that are so far, or the
Scalebound.
Final Fantasy VII remake is probably affected by this.
Scalebound, which got canceled.
Yeah. So yeah, it's tricky. It's a tricky game. This is probably smart. I don't think anything like this will ever pass in the United States, though.
Probably not.
The retailers have too much pull.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting nonetheless.
Yeah. Do note that this is for retailers. You can still pre-order a game online via Amazon or from the publisher directly if they allow you to. This is just for third-party retailers.
Yeah. So anyways, moving on.
Also, this is just for EUs, specifically.
Moving on to our next story, which is about, which is actually a good news story. I like this one.
Yeah.
Epic Games is helping out the people who make stuff for their marketplace. They're making a new deal with their Unreal Engine marketplace, where creators on the store will now receive 88% of their product sales, as opposed to the 70% split of other similar digital stores. So, this new split applies to all transactions past, present, and future. So that means people who have sold stuff in the past on the marketplace will be compensated for this new change.
Right.
They will be back paid.
Yes, but do know that this only goes back to 2014 when that launched.
Right. So, games included that have a marketplace element to them include Ark, Survival Evolved, and of course PUBG. As of July 2018, more than 6.3 million users, not 6.3 users.
6.3 users. Who's the 0.3 user?
Peter Dinklage. Oh, yeah, that's bad.
Oh, that's bad.
Thomas was rolling out.
That's a me joke.
It is a huge joke. 6.3 million users have chosen Unreal Engine 4, and Epic Games has seen a 30% growth in active sellers with over 1,500 creators. It is important to note here that this could have also been a business decision, as they have a lot of money now, thanks to Fortnite.
Yeah.
So they probably realized, hey, we have nothing to lose here. We can do something in the guise of goodwill, which is really just us showing off. Hey, look at all the money we have.
Yeah.
Also, it's probably pulling people from Unity, which is a rival engine.
Right.
Yeah. That's also important to note here. They are getting Unreal Engine used to be the go-to game development engine. Unity in this generation especially has given them a run for their money.
Well, especially because Unity caters a lot to mobile games.
Yes. It's easier to use for mobile from what I understand. It's also easier to use for our two-dimensional development, which a lot of the smaller indie games are gravitating towards. So you have kind of that advantage in the Unity court. Whereas Unreal Engine, a little more old-fashioned. So there you go.
Yeah, but
still a good story overall.
Yeah, as mentioned, Epic Games does own Fortnite, so they literally have money to spend.
They have money to burn.
Yeah. Plus, this actually puts them in good favors with everybody to make people want to play more Epic Games.
Yeah.
I'm a little distracted by this commercial right now.
I'm sure you are. Speaking of Epic Games, what about a game that's so epic, people have spent $100 and something million on it, and it's not even out?
How would you spend that kind of money?
Well, of course, I'm talking about Star Citizen. Star Citizen, of course, the infamous Kickstarted game that is still going since 2012 and has amassed over $200 million in Kickstarter funding. Developer Robert Space Industries has been managing it for 6 years, and now backers are thinking the game may never come out, so some people want their money back.
Yeah. I mean, it's been 6 years. Where's the product?
You would think. One backer, Ken Lord, pledged $4,495 over the course of 5 years and has taken RSI to court for his money back since they wouldn't refund it. Lord took it to court and lost due to an arbitration clause buried in the Star Citizen end-user license agreement that prevented such a thing from happening. Yep, those EULAs were killer. Read them. I know it's pain, but if you're going to spend money on something, you should probably see what your rights are.
I know, especially spend that kind of money.
Yeah, don't waste your money. Also, this is probably your annual reminder. You don't probably need to be reminded this, but don't think that everything on Kickstarter is a guarantee.
Yeah.
It's not. It's basically a gamble. You don't know if the person you're kickstarting is actually going to make the thing that they say they're going to make.
Right. Kickstarter is you're putting the money out, like with any...
Help them out.
Any type of pledging stuff, is you're putting the money out there in the hopes that you'll get something in return.
It's a donation.
Now, there are like certain tiers where they do like reward stuff, but you're also putting this out, basically giving the money in the hopes you'll get returned. This is just an unfortunate situation. I don't know why you would keep spending $4,000 or $1,000 on this thing.
Yeah, $4,000. $4,495.
Yeah, almost $5,000
on
a game over 6 years that may or may not come out.
Yep, it's a lot.
Yep.
All right, let's move on from that into a story about Madden. Yes,
Madden.
Madden 19 is on the horizon. That will be the next major Madden release. Antonio Brown of the Pittsburgh Steelers will be your cover boy this year. He follows, of course, Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, OBJ, and Richard Sherman as previous cover athletes. He has a record 5 straight seasons with 100-plus catches and a top pick in a lot of people's fantasy drafts.
Yes.
This may turn his upcoming season into a troubled one if the Madden curse is to be believed. But a little asterisk here. Well, a lot of people say that the Madden curse is officially broken as of Tom Brady.
Right.
That's alleged.
It's alleged.
There are probably some people who would argue, well, he did lose the Super Bowl.
Right.
But he got to the friggin' Super Bowl. That's pretty defiant of a Madden curse, if you ask me.
Yeah.
So.
Well, to be fair, he was a part of the GOAT edition and the first of the dual covers.
Yeah, that's true.
Which he did 2 different photos, one for the standard and one for the GOAT edition. So maybe it's considered a new one and not an official Madden cover.
Yeah, maybe. Although, speaking of other covers, if you're into the Hall of Fame edition, that'll have a different cover. Also a color, probably. And Terrell Owens will grace that cover.
Yeah, that's a gold cover.
Yep.
But there's more athletes on covers.
There's more athletes on covers. If the NBA game this year is more your jam, get it? Giannis okay, here we go. And Giannis Antetokounmpo. Wow.
Go ahead.
Antetokounmpo.
I gotta mark this.
Antetokounmpo.
I gotta mark this to show Kristen.
Antetokounmpo. I think I got it.
Keep going.
We'll be on the cover of NBA 2K19's Standard Edition. And, of course, LeBron James will be on the Special Edition. Because he's LeBron James.
Yes. Currently, his ranking came out for being on the Lakers at a 98 ranking.
That sounds about right.
Because he's freaking LeBron James.
Freaking LeBron James.
He's the best no matter what team he's on.
All right, that'll do it for video games, and that will do it.
That will not do it. We got to wrap it up with one last thing. I played a game.
Oh, you played a game?
I played a game.
You played a game.
I decided to download and play the free game Fortnite.
Ew. Okay.
I played 2 different modes. The 50 on 50 and the 1 on 50 Battle Royale mode.
So, what are the kids thinking? Like, do you know? Are you in touch with what the kids are?
Clearly not.
Like, are you digging what the kids are doing?
Clearly not. This is super cartoony. This is over the top. This is run around, find weapons if you can, and then kill people as the mist closes in on you.
Yeah.
When I played the 50 on 50, I ended up being on the winning team, mainly because I hid a lot. Or I didn't quite hide a lot, but I just landed in an area where there's nobody around. So I just watched the counter just slowly tick down. But when I did 1-on-1, I kind of applied the same situation, and that's how you... The only way to win that game, apparently, is to win the game. You don't get any points if you're like top 30, top 20, top 10. No, it's all or nothing in that type of thing.
Yep.
Which sucks. Also, apparently, you have to pay to do the exclusive stuff, to get the ticket for the exclusive stuff, in order to get the extra costumes and items in it. At least that's the way it looks to me. I spent about 2 hours on this thing, and then it's like, nah, I'll play something better. That's when you came in and I saw me playing Borderlands 2.
That is the official Media Boat review of Fortnite. I'm gonna play something better.
There's a lot of better games out there. I can see the attraction because you just immediately, if you lose, you just immediately jump right into another game. But
yeah,
it's basically cartoony call cartoony in a sense.
It's cartoon PUBG.
It's cartoon PUBG.
Yeah, that's all it is.
You're just dropped in there. The goal is to not die. So So whenever you see everybody jumping off, don't jump off with them. Wait and then jump off, and then use your glider to go to the furthest point possible away from everyone else, and then scavenge for weapons and try and not get into a fight because let other people die instead of you.
Yep, all this is true.
I mean, it's not a complicated game. It's not that complicated.
So yeah,
maybe that's why people like it, because it's not that complicated.
People like it. Yeah, I think that's why it's big with kids.
Yeah. They don't like things that are too complicated.
I mean, that's fair. All right, is that it?
Yeah, that's the Media Boat Podcast official review of Fortnite. Go play a better game. Go play a better game.
All right. Well, that'll do it for video games. That'll do it for the Media Boat Podcast this week.
All right. So it's time to plug away.
Yep. Let's wrap up with some plugs. You can watch us live every week on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be back, of course, with a new episode next Wednesday on the same time on the same YouTube channel. If you're wondering how to find us, go to YouTube and search Media Boat Podcast, and you'll find our channel. If you want to hear the audio version of our podcast, we're also available that way. You can find us on Apple Podcasts as well as any RSS feed-driven podcatcher out there. You'll find us by just searching Media Boat Podcast. You can also find us on the internet. We're on MediaBoatPodcast.com. There you can see posts for each week's podcast, as well as, hopefully in the future, even more thoughts about things that we've enjoyed or hated. You can also find us on social media. Nothing in between. Either just enjoy it or we hate it.
Or it's just fine. Yeah. It is what it is.
It
does what it wants to do.
One of the two. But yeah, you can also find us on social media. On Twitter, we are at MediaBoatCast. On Facebook, search Media Boat Podcast. You can join our page. You can also find us on Twitch.tv when we stream video games. Twitch.tv/MediaBoat is where that is. And last but not least, especially not least, if you want to help us out, the best possible way is with money, and you can donate to us on our Patreon. Patreon.com/MediaBoat is where you can go to do that, and you can donate even as little as $1 a month. Even that small amount helps us make content even better for you. It improves quality of the show, and we'll create special content just for our patrons if you request it. So, help us out. In the meantime, we'll be gone for another week. We'll be back on Wednesday with a new show, but until then, y'all have a great week and a great weekend, and we will be back next time.
Yep, we'll be back with more thoughts, more news, and more reasons for you to love us.
Yep, love us,
right.
please.
Yes, thank you all for tuning in. See you next week.
Bye.
Okay, bye. All right, YouTube After Show. We've been slowly watching the ESPYs. They just did the Jimmy V Award for Perseverance, and this is the part where the Manly Man cheers come in.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to rewind this. Yes, I want to rewatch this right now.
Yeah, we're going to start over.
And start over. Yeah. So far, I've been liking who's been winning.
Yeah.
From the brief stuff that we've been watching. But we're going to watch that right now.
So
thank you all for tuning in. We'll have our thoughts on this next week.
Yep.
Okay, bye.